My name is Jill Gray, and this is my audience, and I'm doing my informative speech today on the effects of caffeine. How caffeine can be affecting your body and what you can do to improve your health. I think we're all aware of how much caffeine we use in our daily lives. We might not even think about how much caffeine we consume. You might have a large coffee in the morning, a bottle of pop for lunch, another coffee in the afternoon, and maybe even a tea before bed. We can become dependent on caffeine and not even realize the effect it's having on our body. In the last few months, I've decided for health reasons to eliminate caffeine. I now realize how little caffeine really did for me and how much better I feel now that I don't drink it. Caffeine is best known as a stimulant or a wake-up effect. Once a person consumes caffeine, it's absorbed in your body and carried around in your bloodstream. You can see peak levels of caffeine in about an hour. Caffeine is highly addictive, like drugs, and your body becomes dependent on caffeine. When your body doesn't get the caffeine that you need, you could have headaches, feel sleepy, or even get really grumpy. Caffeine has other negative side effects as well. You can become nervous or anxious, your hands may tremble or shake, and too much can cause insomnia. There are more serious side effects as well. You can have a racing heartbeat, which is what I had. It was really uncomfortable, and it just makes you feel like you need to be running like 100 miles an hour, and there's no reason for it other than you drink too much caffeine. And it makes your heart work a lot harder when that happens. It can also increase your blood pressure, which is what also happened to me, and since I've stopped drinking caffeine, my blood pressure has returned to normal. When you have high blood pressure, it also can put you at risk for heart disease and stroke. And it can also cause anxiety disorders, even if you haven't been pre-diagnosed with any anxiety issues. And I also had that too. Just kind of made you feel edgy and uncomfortable just from drinking caffeine. Women's fertility can also be affected, so if you're wanting to have children, you should probably eliminate most of the caffeine in your life. And right now the effects on a fetus are still being researched. They do know that caffeine crosses the placenta. There are recommendations for women to have less than 300 milligrams of coffee a day if they're pregnant, so that's really only 2 8-ounce cups of coffee, which isn't very much if you're a coffee drinker. Women also who consume high levels can experience bone loss after menopause. One thing we don't think about is children today consume caffeine, and there's actually the maximum doses are based on their age. So if you have a child 4 to 6, they should have 35 milligrams. 7 to 9 is 62 milligrams, and if they're 10 to 12, they can have up to 85 milligrams of caffeine. So we need to think about how we're consuming caffeine, and so here's a breakdown of items that contain caffeine. If you drink a can of Mountain Dew, it's 55 milligrams, which isn't really that bad considering we think Mountain Dew has a lot of caffeine. But then if you stop off at the gas station and have a Pure Leaf tea, that bottle has about 57 milligrams. And the one I think is interesting is the Red Bull energy drink that's not very big. It contains 80 milligrams of caffeine. And if you go to Starbucks on your way home or whatever, a lot of people like to visit there. A tall coffee, which is their small, has 160 milligrams of caffeine. You also might consume caffeine in chocolate and not think about it. The levels are really low, but it's still there for you to consume. Hershey's milk chocolate bar has about 6 milligrams of caffeine. A Dove chocolate bar contains, the dark chocolate has more, at 20 milligrams. So when you're trying to remove caffeine from your diet, there are some tools that you can follow to help you be more successful. You should always learn what foods or drinks have caffeine and eliminate them from your lifestyle. Prepare for withdrawal, which was a big one for me. I had a headache continually for about a month, and then after that all my headaches disappeared. And prior to drinking caffeine, I had headaches all the time, a couple times a day, and as well as migraines that have disappeared since I don't drink caffeine. You're going to have a withdrawal period, and that varies per person. You probably might have an inability to concentrate, drowsiness, maybe even insomnia. Another big step is to detox slowly. It can start about 2 weeks up to several months, and it's based on how comfortable you're feeling or how soon you want to eliminate caffeine from your diet. The slower you do it, the better the withdrawal symptoms are. And it's okay, one of the steps was to treat your withdrawal symptoms by, if you have a headache, continue to just take the Tylenol and get rid of it so you can eliminate the caffeine in your life. The other big thing was to drink lots of water. You need to meet the daily requirements at least, so that's 8 8-ounce glasses of water. So you need to meet that plus several glasses more. And one of the biggest things for me was to eliminate caffeine. I still like to drink pop, so I drink caffeine-free pop, and you can always have decaf coffee, which tastes the same but doesn't include caffeine. With our busy lives, we often look for that extra help to get things done or give us a boost that we need. It's important to recognize that caffeine, although quite common, has very real and very serious side effects, especially when consumed at high doses. After making the decision to eliminate caffeine from my life and your lives, you can expect to face some challenges, but with careful planning and knowing what to expect, you can be successful. Thank you.